Top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. Welcome back. Friday live stream. Obviously, today we are going to do the talk of the town today. It would appear that Complex has released a 50 best LA rappers of all time list. So we love lists. I think that's just something as consumers we love when people list and rank things. Makes for good conversation, right? And LA rappers, I can already see they got Doja Cat on here. They got Snoop on here. They got Kendrick on here. Only one of these rappers listed here is from LA, which is Nipsey Hussle. Snoop is from Long Beach. Kendrick is from Compton. Doja's from Tarzana. But I guess we're just, by LA, we mean LA County, I guess. And of course, you guys know, I am from LA originally, MLK Hospital. So who better to take a look at this list and also make their own list? I'm gonna make a list of who I think should be on here also. Before I look at the list in full, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. Basically, it'd be my top 5, right? But first, you know what we like to do? We like to go over just a couple ground rules. Ground rules, just new videos we posted on the channel this week. How many videos did I post? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. So a pretty active week for me. Plenty of content for y'all. Okay, so boom. So before we get into it, we got to ask ourselves, what is an LA rapper? This is, I think, going to be a big point of contention depending on who's discussing it. If you're not from California, you're not from Southern California, it doesn't really matter to you. But if you're from the area, the boundaries of what's considered LA is going to be a topic of discussion. So I have to ask, is Compton being included as LA? Long Beach, is that also LA? Like north of the 405, are we including rappers from Northridge and from Calabasas and all that? Are all these, like, what's the boundary on LA? Because, and again, if you're not from Southern California, this really doesn't matter to you, but like Kendrick Lamar is not from LA. Kendrick Lamar's from Compton. If you ask Kendrick Lamar, where are you from? He's going to say Compton. He's not going to say LA. Snoop Dogg is not from LA. He's from Long Beach. Nipsey is from LA. He's from South Central. So I wonder if I can pull out can we pull out a little Google map just so we can get a little bit of geography. Let's do California on the Google map. And what's the best way to do this? Let's see, pull it up. So even me, as an LA native, what I consider LA, it is a little bit fuzzy. Shout out to Ricochet Bazooka Frank in the chat. What I consider LA is a little fuzzy. So let me scroll down here. Let me try to find LA. LA is right here. Boom. So you got LA right here. You got the IE to the east. LA proper. Let me try to find it. So for someone from Southern California, from LA, there's only a small part of this that they would consider LA. And let me try to, I wonder if I can paste this into this document. It'll make it a little easier. Insert, image, upload. Okay. So we're going to paste this map into this document and I'm going to try to draw out. Now a lot of people's not going to agree with this, but I'm going to try to draw out what I've seen people consider LA before we even get into this conversation. But there's not going to be a hard agreement on this, right? But Compton is certainly not LA. But if we're going to include Compton as a part of LA for this list, then fine. But the list is just going to look a lot different than if we didn't include it, right? So let me see, Google Docs. I haven't used Google Docs in so long. Is there a marker or I need like a pencil tool. Here we go. Is this it right here? Okay, boom. Oh, that's a border. Okay, so I'm going to try to do it without it. So LA, and again, if you're from LA, feel free to critique. No one's going to agree entirely. But I would say this area right here, South LA, Inglewood, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, this right here that I'm circling, not even Monterey Park, in East LA, this right here is considered LA. In my opinion. Can I pull this into Canva? Let me try to pull this into Canva. Might be easier for everyone to get a visual before we really break down this list. And I'm also put my 2 cents in on who I think should be on the list. Because obviously, if we're including pretty much all of LA County, then yeah, we can include Compton. So there's going to be Kendrick on the list. But if we're not including that, then there's no Kendrick. Kendrick's not from LA. Same with Snoop Dogg. So anyways, boom. Try to upload this in here. And we're going to try to enlarge this too. All right, so boom. And we can kind of make this bigger because all this in Anaheim and all this Torrance, that's not LA. All right, so tools. Boom, perfect. So I would say most people that I grew up around, they would consider, my goodness, this is LA. And again, no one's really going to agree. Specifically, Southgate. Is Southgate LA? I don't know. Boyle Heights, Beverly Hills. Okay. So to someone from Southern California, they may increase or decrease the border by some margin, but this would be considered LA. Inside those red lines. Now, if you can see, Compton is not within that border. Compton is right here. It's not LA. Whereas Long Beach would be down. Long Beach would be like somewhere right here. Long Beach is kind of like right here. And I'm including Signal Hill and Lakewood and Long Beach. Like it's pretty far from LA proper. And then all the stuff up here, which is where all the rich people live and stuff. This is kind of like the area where Doja Cat's from. Well, I guess not all rich people. You got North Hollywood, Burbank. So that's not LA either. And then, yeah, Carson, this is where Absol and Reason are from. So, yeah, if we're including all of this as LA, though, fine, which I'm going to do for my list. But LA proper, and I think most LA natives would agree that inside this red border, they may increase it or decrease it by some margin of error, but most people would agree that this is LA inside that red border. Compton is not LA. Carson is not LA. Long Beach, Signal Hill is not LA. And if you ask those people where they're from, if you ask Snoop Dogg where he's from, he's going to say Long Beach. He's not going to say LA because Long Beach is not LA. It's actually quite far from LA. Long Beach is like somewhere in this area, right? Compton is here. It's pretty far from LA. And you got LAX is like somewhere over here. I'm from right here somewhere-ish. South Central LA. They call it South. They renamed it. They don't call it South Central anymore. All right, so already from Complex's list, though, I can see by the people they're choosing, they're including all of this. Let me pick a different color. Complex will be including pretty much all of this as LA, which is cool, but that's just not how the locals consider it, right? Any questions in the chat before we really get deep into this? What's up, True Thought? Worst hip hop list I've seen. Complex outdid themselves. I haven't even looked at Complex's list yet. I haven't scrolled down any further than what I am right now. Shout out to Continent Chat. Jonathan, LA is LA County. I mean, if you're not from LA, then yeah, it doesn't really make sense if you're from Signal Hill and you're talking to someone that's from like Idaho or something and they ask where you're from and you say Signal Hill, no one knows where that is. So yeah, it's better to just say LA. But to the people from those areas, from Long Beach and from Carson, they'll make it a point to tell you that they are from that city, not LA. So I mean, I'm just putting it out there. So anyways, I can delete this out my Google Doc. So this is who I expect to see on the list. Number one, if we're including Compton and all that, Kendrick has to be on the list. Snoop has to be on the list. DJ Quick from Compton, but we're including Compton, right? DJ Quick has to be on the list. This will be my top 5, personally. Kendrick, Snoop, DJ Quick. Who else would I put up there in terms of LA? You gotta put Ice Cube. And I'll put Nipsey. This will be my top 5. No order. No order. Actually, I'll keep it in this order. If I was pressed to rank them, I'll rank it just like this. Kendrick Lamar, number 1. Snoop, DJ Quick, Ice Cube, Nipsey. So this is who I expect to be on here. Some honorable mentions. The list ain't solid if you ain't got Dub C on there. Gotta have Dub C. The list ain't solid if you ain't got a Sugar Free. But Sugar Free's from Pomona. But again, if we're just counting LA County as in it's all this Southern California landscape, or if we're just counting all of this as LA, then why not put Pomona in there too? Pomona is for sure. Where is Pomona? I don't even know where Pomona's at. Pomona gotta be like somewhere. Yeah, Pomona's right here. But if we counting stuff that's not in LA anyways, like Carson and all this, why not count Pomona? Right? Sugar Free gotta be on there. I'm from Carson, so I'll just say I'm from Carson, but topics like this is fine with just greater LA area. Yeah, sure. I'll just say I'm from LA. It's easier. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's yeah, if you're talking to someone not from the state or not from Southern California, you just say I'm from LA. But if we being technical, y'all know, like y'all saying. Y'all see, you claim Carson, you don't claim LA. Yeah, Dub C, Sugar Free. I don't know who else. Is Mossberg going to be on there? There's a lot of guys they can have. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. But this is my top 5 though. If DJ Quick is not in the top 5, I don't know if I respect the list. DJ Quick probably got the best discography, solo discography of any LA rapper. I'll put DJ Quick's discography against Kendrick's. DJ Quick's discography is very strong. Rapper, producer. So anyway, now that we got, the ground rules set, what coast would they put Pac? Yeah, Tupac is not from LA, so like Tupac is a New York rapper. He just repped the West Coast, but he's not from LA. So, and when Tupac moved to California, he moved to Oakland, which is nowhere near LA. Oakland is like a 6-hour drive from LA. So yeah, Tupac is definitely not from LA. Tupac's not from the West Coast, number 1, and he's definitely not from LA. So he shouldn't even be on this list. Outsiders here at LA and think the whole California. LA is like one small part. That little inside that red, that's LA. To locals, they would consider this LA, give or take some stuff. Give or take, maybe Marina Del Rey and Commerce and yeah. But generally, yes. Yeah, people think here LA and think all of California. No, LA is like a very small part. So anyway, let's look at this list. I want to start from, let's start from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom. Tash, okay, they including people I don't even know. Murs, okay, shout out to Murs. Oh, they already start, okay. They start bottom down. So number 50, they put Blueface. So I don't know. Yo, what?
Why?
Blueface is considered the top 50 greatest LA rapper of all time. What do y'all think about that? I would not put Blueface on my list at all. He don't got the discography. Rico Say said Pac is an NY rapper. Yeah, Pac is from New York. Tupac is from New York. He's from the East Coast. Then he moved to Maryland, right? And then he was like, Tupac was like 16 or 17 when he finally moved to California. Right? So he was almost grown when he moved to California. And when he moved to California, Tupac moved to the Bay Area. He didn't move to LA. Tupac is from New York. He used to be known as MC New York. This was his rap name. So yeah, Blueface would not be on my list. So if you put Blueface on this list, yo, Mossberg gotta be on there. Exhibit, Corrupt. They gotta be really high if you put Blueface as number 50. Exhibit, Corrupt. You know what I mean? You gotta put, if you put in Blueface, you gotta put Hitman, who worked on the Chronic 2001. There's a lot of people you gotta put on if you put in Blueface number 50. Number 49, Blue. So Blue should be, yeah. Okay, someone said this is the worst list they've ever seen. I think it's starting pretty terrible. Because if you put in Blue, number 49, and Blueface number 50, that don't even make sense. Blue should be way higher. There should be a significant amount of separation between Blue, who has a discography. He has worked with Exile. He has worked with Madlib. Like, he has albums people love, cult classic that people love. There has to be some separation between a guy like Blue with those qualities and someone like Blueface, who was just a viral sensation for a couple of months. So this is already starting off terrible. They say important songs, Dancing in the Rain, The World Is. They put the right songs on there. These are probably my two favorite Blue songs. I really like Miles Davis too. I don't know, let's keep going. G Perico. Okay. See, you put kind of two underground heavy hitters, Perico and Blue. You put two heavy hitters next to Blueface, who is not a heavy hitter musically. Blueface is kind of more popular for other things. Blueface didn't really have an album that people loved, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of just had a viral moment, right? Pac is the 90s Drake minus singing skill. Ricochet said then Corrupt is a Philly rapper. Well, when did Corrupt move to LA? When he was 16, he moved to LA? Then that's fair. If Corrupt was living out in the East Coast until he was like 16, 17, 18, like Tupac did, then yeah, Philly can have him. Yo, in LA, we not like begging to like include rappers to be a part of our stuff, man. Like, if that's the case, then Corrupt can be from Philly too. I mean, but I think there's a little difference between Corrupt and Tupac. Corrupt moved, even though it was late in life, he moved directly to LA. First to Hawthorne, but Hawthorne, I mean, we're including all this a part of LA, right? Can we see Hawthorne on this map? Yeah, Hawthorne would be like right here. I think this is where Tyler the Creator's from, Hawthorne. Corrupt moved to Hawthorne, which is LA. Tupac moved to the Bay Area first, then kind of trickled down to LA. But yeah, if we can exclude one, we can exclude the other too. Doesn't matter to me. Blue, G Perico, shout out to G Perico. Who else we got on here? OGZ, Shoreline Mafia. Sure. I don't see how you put OGZ above Blue and Perico, but this is the underground head in me talking. Let's keep going. I think having a Shoreline Mafia member on this list is just fine. Hunter says, would you consider Tyler LA then. Yeah, I would consider Tyler LA. Tyler's from Hawthorne, right? Is Tyler creator from Hawthorne? He's from Hawthorne. Hawthorne's right here. I'll use a different color. Hawthorne's right here. So yeah, that's kind of within my border, my LA border. And again, some people would include some parts, some others. But even look at how they phrase this, how the AI, even the AI knows how SoCal residents kind of border off LA. They say corrupt moved to Hawthorne first and then LA. Like even the AI is making a distinction between Hawthorne and what people consider LA proper. Just saying. Please, no one compare Pac to Drake. Tupac and Drake have similarities. They were both actors. And I think they, at times, both kind of like pretend to be something they're not. Tupac is more of a Bay Area rapper. I wouldn't consider Tupac a West Coast rapper at all. He had a West Coast style, but I wouldn't consider him a Bay rapper. I will let my Bay Area brethren speak on that, but he's definitely not an LA rapper at all. Crooked Eye. Crooked Eye's too low. Crooked Eye's too low on this list. See, you can't have Crooked Eye, Blue, and G Perico in earshot within Blueface and OGZ. I'm sorry. Evidence. This is fair. Evidence is Alchemist's brother. Y'all know the Alchemist, the producer. Evidence has some albums people really love. You know, the Cats and Dogs. Underground. Dare I say underground legend Evidence? Evidence was in Dilated Peoples, right? Yeah, we could say underground legend. Dilated Peoples. I got lots of love from my crew, that is. That was Evidence, right? Yeah, Evidence. Here's my issue so far. They're putting legends, right? Evidence, Crooked Eye, Blue, next to Blueface. The list started off already messed up. You cannot have Blueface here within earshot of all these legends. Blueface, nah, man. No, I'm sorry. And I like Bust Down Tatiana. I like Give a Fuck If You Like Me. You better respect my crib. And I liked all them songs, Pull Up on Your Block, Then I Bleed Them. But no. Everlast, okay. Again, they're putting this list, the 40s are backloaded with underground legends, which to me is a little bit odd. Like the list is backloaded with a bunch of underground legends. Evidence and then Everlast. I don't know, engaged in historical 20v1s, including dissing women like Wendy Williams. Yeah, Pac has similarities with both Drake and Kendrick. Like he has multiple facets to him because he shares a thing with Kendrick in that, you know, they try to be righteous. They try to, you know, push their crews and their people to do better. But he also has a thing with Drake where he's kind of like an actor and it kind of seems like he's method acting. In his own life, he's like method acting at times in his own life, trying to be things that they aren't. I'm just observing. I can't believe what I'm hearing about Pac retrospectively. This is crazy. Pac compared to Drake and Carl to wannabe is nuts. Never knew Evidence and Alchemist are related. Yeah, Evidence and Alchemist are brothers. I saw them at the Smokers Club tour at the El Rey Theater in 2010. It was Evidence, Alchemist, Dom Kenny, Big Sean, Nipsey Hussle. That was a crazy show. Number 43, we got Absol. Fine. 42, will.i.am's from LA? will.i.am is from LA? I didn't know that. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Gotta get that boom, boom, boom. Oh, he's from Eastside, LA. I didn't know that. Shout out to will.i.am. Even for will.i.am, this is kind of low. This is like a legitimate just legend in music in general. You talk about the Black Eyed Peas and all that. 42 is kind of low. Lady of Rage, I wouldn't put Lady of Rage above will.i.am. will.i.am should be a little higher, I think. Well, Lady of Rage definitely belongs on this list. You know, Afro Puffs and all that. I'm triggered by the pot combo. People have like rose-tinted glasses as it comes. Certain people in hip hop. Tupac is one of them. Lauryn Hill is one of them. I think Kendrick is becoming one of them with the way people like proselytize this guy. Like people have rose tinted glasses, like with certain people. And Tupac is definitely one of them. Great. Tupac is like in my top 3 favorite rappers of all time. Maybe top 4. It goes Jay-Z, Kendrick, Lupe, then Tupac. In no order. Those are just my 4. But yeah. Tupac is not from the West Coast, so he should not be included on any West Coast lists. Coolio at number 40. This is low, man. They got a lot of people low. But just think of how great LA is as a city. You got Coolio at number 40? This is low. Lady of Rage is from Virginia. Let's fact check that. Lady of Rage. When she moved to LA though, we gotta look at her wiki. See, if they moved to LA when they was younger, I'll consider them a part of LA. But if you moved to LA when you was like 16, 17, 18, bro, you're not from LA, bro. You just not. Maybe I should just ask AI. I don't want to read all this. Lady of Rage. When did she move to LA? Doesn't specify. But yeah, it does say she's from Farmville, Virginia. So shout out to Virginia. There's not shit out there. Virginia was nice though. I visited one time, but yo. It was nice. I mean, we went on the HBCU tour across the South. And a lot of them places in the South, yo, it's empty out there, man. But Virginia was one of the nicer parts. You know what I mean? Fat Lip. I don't know much about Fat Lip. Let me hear. Oh, the Far Side. Okay, yeah, the Far Side. Okay, yeah. Never mind. Yeah, Fat Lip. That's fine. 30. They got Cam at number 38. I feel like Cam's a little bit high. Cam was dope though. Like Cam had a great diss towards Ice Cube. He had a great diss record. But at 38, you putting Cam above, Coolio and Will.i.am and Lady of Rage and Ab Soul and Evidence. Cam is very high. See, I was gonna put Cam on my pre-list, guys that I thought should be mentioned. But I was like, I don't know if Cam did enough to even be mentioned. But yeah, if you put Blueface on here, you gotta put Cam on here. Pac wrote books and spoke on every topic and situation. Revolutionary. Yeah, Pac had 2 sides. He had the revolutionary side and he had the straight degenerate side. So yeah. The only thing that comes to mind when it comes to comparing Pac to Drake is more like you can't leave your woman around their acting background. In their acting background. Yeah, I feel like Drake kind of method acts too. Let me make sure I'm using this word correctly. I like to, make sure I'm using words correctly. Method acting is a technique where actors deeply identify with their characters, often to the point of living the character's life and emotions for extended periods. So yeah, I think, so basically method acting is when a actor is taking a character that they have in their head or they're practicing for, and they actually start living that character. And I think both Drake and Tupac at times method act. I think they method act and they start acting out something that they're not. I think this is why you see Drake come out with all these different accents. He's Jamaican one day, then he's Canadian, then he's from the UK, grime, South London. I think that's why you see Drake do that. And when you watch Tupac's older interviews, you watch Tupac when he was like in the Jada Pinkett Smith era, when he was, in art school, how he's talking versus how he started talking when he started hanging around Suge Knight and all them. It's a similar thing. It's a similar thing. Like I think at times they both method act. But then Pac also has that side, like you're saying, with the revolutionary. He's very for his people, pro-black. So he has that side, which I don't think Drake has shown us. Maybe Drake is this huge pro-black person, but he's not frontward with it like Tupac and the whole Black Panther thing. So yeah, Cam at 38 is very high. I don't even know if I would put Cam on this list. If I did put Cam on this list, I would put him at 50. And I would just take Blueface completely off of this list. You know what I mean? Because Blueface doesn't need to be there. Shout out Rudy RA in the chat. So method acting is like a pro wrestler. They're living their gimmick. That's a great way to say it. They're living their gimmick. Yeah. And there are people from New York who have spoken on Tupac, and you could just say that they don't like Pac or whatever, but they knew him. Like a lot of people from New York, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but there are people in the industry and people who knew Pac who said after Tupac did the whole Juice movie, he started to become that character. Like it was different before and after. This is what in method acting to a definition, right? Number 37, Mac 10. Okay, yeah, Mac 10. I think 37. I think this is the first. This is the first ranking that's perfect. It's not too high and it's not too low. Mac 10 at 37, sure. Mac 10 is the guy who allegedly got Birdman and Lil Wayne to become Bloods and all this. At one point, if I'm not mistaken, Mac 10 was either signed to or just affiliated with Cash Money Records. And around this same time, you started seeing, these guys become Bloods and all this. Allegedly, right? Yeah, Mac 10 had some great songs. Boat Life. Yeah. He was with West Side Connection. Yeah. Mac 10 is on a classic. Mac 10 is on a classic record. Right? Bow Down. West Side Connection. This is a classic record. Bow Down. Or at least regional classic. And Mac 10 is on it. So if you got Mac 10, I'm expecting Dub C's name to come up at some point. Troy, we all know when you go to the white school, you got to put a little spin on your speech. That Pac interview people bring up is just that he's not putting up fake accents. When you go to a white school, you don't have to put a spin on your speech. You don't have to. Like they're not going to fail you because you're talking how you talk. All you got to do is pass the assignments. And I don't even know if that was a white school. It was an art school. Jada Pinkett went to that school. I think there was black people in that school. That school was in Harlem, wasn't it? Right? I just think Tupac had multiple sides to him. And I think, not because we all have multiple sides. I think Tupac, he just played on extremes a little bit. And I think Drake kind of does the same thing. Taj. Oh, he's from Alcoholics. I was about to say, who is Taj? I know the Alcoholics. This is fine. I'd rather just put the whole group on here. I'm not really a big fan of putting one guy from the group when the group, it's like if you put Andre 3000 on the best rappers of Atlanta list, but then you don't put Big Boy, or Big Boy is like ranked considerably lower. You just put Outkast as a whole, just put the Alcoholics as a whole. Alcoholics, great group. I kind of think the Alcoholics inspired Dom Kennedy a little bit. Dom Kennedy also needs to be on this list. And Dom Kennedy should be, I'll rank Dom Kennedy like top 30. Dom Kennedy has some great songs. Number 35, Murs. Okay, Murs, definitely. Gotta have Murs. Murs got some great work with Ninth Wonder. Oh yeah, Fashion's from Fresno, so he's not gonna be on this list. Fresno is kind of more NorCal. Yeah, multiple albums with Ninth Wonder. I like Murs. And number 35, I might put Murs top 30, but this is fine. This is fine. The best ranking they had so far is Mac 10 at 37. I think that's very fair, and I think Murs at number 35 is also fair. Murs, underground legend. Dub C, okay. Number 34. I think this is a little low for Dub C. Again, Dub C is on a classic record, Bow Down, which features Ice Cube and Mac 10. And then Dub C also got work with the Mad Circle. Dub C, Mad Circle. Yeah, this group right here. You can see the way that Mad is spelled with two A's. Kendrick Lamar used this for the Good Kid, Mad City. He spelled Mad the same way. I'm 100% sure that was an ode to Dub C. Little low. I'll put Dub C. He'll be in top 30 for sure. Maybe top 25. Little low. I guess they were just trying to rank Dub C and Mac 10 near each other because they were in a group. But Dub C was a way better rapper than Mac 10, with all due respect to Mac 10. Like, Dub C had a style that Mac 10 didn't have. So I think 34 is a little low for Dub C. Are you talking about the Baltimore School of Arts? The Baltimore School of Arts is a school with free tuition. Anyone can join. Okay, yeah. See, that's East Coast stuff. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. That's East Coast stuff. But it's I mention it because people are saying, "Oh, Tupac was talking like that because he was in a white school." I don't know if that was just a white school. I think that's just how he talks, or how he talked at the time. You know. And then like, there's an interview with Tupac, right? Was it 60 Minutes with the white lady? It's like an interview where he's in a studio talking to a white lady, and he sounds like he did back at the Baltimore School of Art. He sounds like a different person. Then he gets around Suge Knight and the gangsters. Then he start talking like how he does on records. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying Drake does this same thing. Shout out to Sammy in the chat. You don't have to change your speech from a developmental aspect. He was at that age where you would, though, to fit in. Maybe I'm rationalizing. You're definitely rationalizing, Rick, which is fine. But you're rationalizing and you're making the assumption that it was a white school. Like, it's in Baltimore. The chances are there are a bunch of black kids in that school, too, and kids of all races. I think you're just making the assumption, oh, it was an all-white school. That's why he talked like that. Rather than, this is just how he talks. Yeah, so anyways. Number 33, Razzcast. Yeah, okay. They got a lot of legends very low. They're backloading this list with older rappers. I feel like I'm going to be pissed off once we get to the top 20. Because you got Razzcast way back here. You got Dub C. You got Blue at number 49. You got Murs way back here. Like, bruh. Razzcast, Soul on Ice, if you ain't heard that album, if you are a fan of lyricism, especially if you like East Coast style lyricism, Razzcast, Soul on Ice, great album. After Pac got popped, it changed everything. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure a near-death experience like that will change anybody. AC Alone. Okay, I think AC Alone is actually ranked pretty high. I think this is pretty high for AC Alone. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put AC Alone above Razzcast and Dub C. I'll put AC Alone like kind of like back here. I wouldn't even put him above Coolio. He would definitely be on my list though. I love the AC Alone mention. I'll probably put AC Alone right above where they got Ab-Soul ranked. Put him above Ab-Soul. I like that they mentioned AC Alone though, but I would need that explained to me. I would need someone to explain to me why AC Alone is ranked above Dove C, Blue. Cam is too high. I can't ignore that. And Coolio. I would just need that explained to me. A lot of y'all don't even know who AC Alone is, but yeah, he's a underground hip hop guy. Good music. I just want to rank him this high. Roy Rogers said, "Yo, we not calling Tupac zesty. That's what we not doing. I'm just saying he spoke different." Now, let me find this interview. Tupac, it might have been this one. I'm not gonna call that man zesty though. It's like him and this white lady and they're sitting in the studio. I'm pretty sure if I could just pull up Tupac interview, it's gonna come up because, you know, how many interviews do we have? This might be it right here. No, that's not it. I can't find it. I don't want to spend all stream looking for this. But y'all have probably seen the interview. But yeah, this is when he was 17. Let's open this.
I've seen guys speak to women with this much respect, and I deplore that. My mother is just totally, I grew up, my mother raised me. So I have this much respect for women, and I fight often because of that. And it gives me a lot of friends. I mean, I get a lot of friends, but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women. Ultra respect for women.
Yeah, boom. Yo, I love when dudes come with the facts. Yo, this is a test name. Baltimore School of Arts was 55% African American when Pac and Jada attended. Majority black. Thank you for coming with the facts. So yes, Rick O'Shea, I think you are rationalizing a bit. It's not that Tupac is talking like this because he's trying to assimilate with white people. The school is majority black. If you made me guess, I would already guess that it's a lot of black kids at the school because it's in Baltimore. If y'all been to Baltimore, Rough area, bro. Rough area, man.
But then, like I was liking this girl in Tam, and I'm extra nice, you know, extra gentleman. I'm extra just like.
So this is different than, the type of accent that we heard Tupac have at other times in his career, which is fine. You can speak multiple ways. I'm just saying Drake does the same thing. 1 minute Drake is super proper and like, oh my gosh, dude, and it was totally bullshit, dude. And then the next minute, he's talking like he from, wherever, from the hood or something. All I'm saying, I can't say people can't talk multiple ways. I'm saying Drake and Tupac, I've noticed they are similar and that they kind of switch it off like this. That's all I'm saying. Now, whether you think that's good or bad, y'all can post it in the comments. Degrassi. Where's that one interview where Drake says that the people in Toronto is ignorant because how they talk? Drake, Degrassi, ignorant. There was like the white kids and Degrassi, they were trying to figure out like, yo, here it is right here.
There's candlelight. It was really dark, really romantic. Got to know them much better, so it was fun. Do you have like your words up there that like are kind of funky and weird?
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, "What are you guys doing?" Say, "Man's like you." It's really weird. Yeah. So man's like you are going to that, and then just means like the group.
The crew. That's interesting.
It's not. It's really ignorant.
That's all I'm saying. Like, and this is not a way of speaking, an accent that Drake has grown out of. This is how this guy talks. But depending where he's at, he'll switch it up. Sometimes he's a black man from America, from the South. Sometimes he's Jamaican. Sometimes he's from the UK. But I think Drake's standard speaking voice is
like,
this.
What are you guys doing? Say, "Man's like you."
I think that's it, and which is nothing wrong with that, man. We're not making fun of how people talk. All I'm saying is, I think it's the same for Pac. I think Pac actually talks like this.
Speak to women with this much respect. Respect for women.
But I think both Pac and Drake, when they get around different settings, they will change it. And it's a very sharp change. Like the change is so sharp to when you go back and listen to how they actually speak, it's a little shocking because it's so different. Now we all code switch, I guess, a little bit. If you on a professional work call, you might not slur your words as much, but this is different than that. And all I'm saying is I've just noticed that similarity between Pac and Drake. Now, Pac also has things in commonalities with Kendrick, which we've already mentioned, the revolutionary side, which I think is more so what Kendrick is inspired by. I'm just saying. And yeah, Pac is not from the West Coast. He's not from LA and he's not from the West Coast, so he should not be on this list. Drake said, he said it's AI. He's saying this is AI. There's nothing wrong with how he's talking, right? There's nothing wrong with it. The reason it's so jarring is because that's not how we're used to hearing him. They adjusted to their surroundings. Yeah. What's your top 5 New York and top Chicago? I don't really know enough about Chicago. I would put Lupe number 1, Chicago. I'll put Kanye. You got to put Twista. That's 3. And then I'll put Chief Keef number 4 and probably Dirk number 5 for Chicago. But you also got to put King Louis for how influential he was. So maybe King Louis instead of Dirk. New York, I know a little bit more. I'll go Ghostface. Just my favorite. Ghostface, Nas, Jay-Z. Who else in New York? You know who I really like from New York? I really like Cormega. I didn't really grow up listening to a lot of Cormega. I actually haven't listened to a lot of Cormega albums in general. But whenever his song comes on in shuffle, I'll be like, yo, Cormega fire. I'll put Cormega in there. And I don't know. Probably Joey Badass. I like Joey Badass. Drake has been using his normal speaking voice on his streams. Yeah, bro. And the thing is, I'm not trying to make fun of how Tupac and how Drake talk. I'm just showing the similarity of how they both have these extreme switches in how they speak depending on who they're around. And they're both actors, right? They're actors. They're both actors by trade. They were actors before they were rappers. And then they both do this whole method acting thing when they change their voice and change who they are, depending on who they get around. I'm just pointing it out, man. We've all seen that. I love the critics use that against Pac. Yo, we love Tupac, man. Tupac is one of my favorite rappers, and I'm just pointing out the obvious. Pac is not the conscious rapper many make him out to be. I think Tupac has some conscious, definitely. Dear Mama, Keep Your Head Up. Brenda's Got a Baby. Pac got a lot of, Me Against the World, the title track. I think Pac, you can look at him as a conscious rapper, but he also had those other sides to him, right? Tony Lee said it's corrupt on this list. We spoke about this earlier. I exclude certain people because they're not actually from LA or the greater LA area. I exclude Tupac for this reason. Someone pointed out Corrupt, who moved to LA when he was 16. I would include Corrupt, but based on my logic, if I'm excluding Pac, it makes sense that I have to exclude Corrupt. So I think that's fair. So anyway, we move on. Number 31, Yo-Yo. This is very high. Yo-Yo, this is very high. Yo-Yo should be back. Yo-Yo should be back there. She should be back, where Blue and will.i.am are. Number 50, I will put AC alone. Blueface should not be on this list. I don't know what strings Whack 100 pulled to get Blueface on this list. Oh yeah, Game. You gotta put Game on this list too. You gotta have Game somewhere on here. So I'll do 5B Game. Oh, 5. Or they're not gonna let me do 5B, whatever. Game. So this will be my top 5 for the people who just joined the stream. Kendrick, Snoop, DJ Quick, Ice Cube, Nipsey. But you could flip Nipsey with Game. Game has a discography. He has more discography and he had more impact. Game went 5 times platinum on his first album at a time where you had to go out and buy the album. And there was also LimeWire out at the time. So there was a lot of piracy going, and he still did 5 times platinum. So you could flip Nipsey and Game. But this will be my top 5. And we also, for the people who just joined the live stream, we also talked about how it's odd how we're including a bunch of people who are not from LA proper. LA proper is give or take in between this red boundary. But we are including people from Long Beach. We are including people from Carson, like Absol. We're including people from Compton, like DJ Quick and Kendrick. They are not from LA, but we are including them on the best rappers of LA list. That's fine. We'll just include the whole LA County. My thing is, if we just including a bunch of places that's not LA, let's include Pomona too, so we can get Sugar Free on this list. But Pomona's way out here though, so. But none of these other places are LA, so I would include Sugar Free on my list. So anyway, Yo-Yo is too high. Shout out to Yo-Yo. She had a great moment with Ice Cube and all that. Don't play with my Yo-Yo and all that. But 31, above Coolio, above Razzcast, above Dub C. Above the Far Side, above Lady of Rage. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I would switch Nipsey for Eazy-E just based off impact and influence. Yeah, I have issues putting Eazy-E on there because he doesn't write his own raps. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, Eazy-E was very influential. But yeah. Love Nip, but there's no world where he's higher than Game. Yeah, if we're including influence and impact. See, I'm including my favorites. This list is my favorites. I'm not trying to be objective with this list. Well, I guess I am because I'm putting DJ Quick in for the discography, but this is really just a list of my favorites. But Nipsey and Game are ranked pretty closely for me. All LA County, yeah, we're including all LA County. Chief Keef, the Code of Chicago. I got Lupe, but yeah. I think my Chicago top 5 was pretty good, considering I don't really know too much about Chicago. I saw that Tupac interview years ago and always wondered, we not going with zesty. Tupac is not zesty, bro. He's not zesty. He's an arts kid, teenager in school, literally a kid. This is just who he is. I mean, I'm not going with the zesty Pac narrative. But anyway, I always wonder if zesty Pac was the real Pac or if the gangster version was real. I don't know. I didn't know the guy. So I can't say either or. Game is def top 5 in the West, even with all the antics. Agreed. Yeah. I think Game is he's one of the many rappers who have me blocked. You know, Game, Daylight, Nicki Minaj, Lupe Fiasco. A lot of rappers got me blocked, but just because they don't like me, it does not mean I'm going to. Just because they don't like me, don't mean I'm not going to speak truth about the great things they've done in music. Number 30, Greedo. The only reason I have an issue, and again, I said this earlier, everything before number 30 is backloaded with older rappers. Dub C, The Far Side, Cam, Coolio, Lady of Rage, it's backloaded with older rappers. So what that tells me is they're about to front load the list with a lot of newer rappers, which is going to, some can call it recency bias. I'm not mad at Greedo for being on this list, but the ranking is what I have an issue with. We not putting Greedo above Dub C and Razcast. We just not. And Murs, we just not. Shout out to Greedo though. He should have been on GNX because Greedo has been one of the more, Greedo in terms of LA rappers, post Kendrick and the whole blog era, Greedo has been having a lot of motion. So J-Rock, cool. J-Rock, this is fine. You know, top 30, that's fine. J-Rock has a lot of discography, has a lot of history. This is fine. He's from Watts. It's LA. Great. Roddy Ricch above J-Rock? I don't know. See, this is what I was saying. I knew this was going to happen. I knew the top of the list, towards the top, is going to be front loaded with newer rappers. Roddy Ricch, he got mixtapes, he got an album, he got a hit record, but I'm not even putting Roddy Ricch above J-Rock. Not doing it. Lupe got you blocked. How'd you get that? I don't really remember. But yeah, I don't remember. The list is pretty good, but no comments, kind of wild. Oh yeah, comment for Chicago for sure. Rudy said Jesus Piece was trash. Nah, the Jesus Piece album with Ali Boumaier by The Game and all that was a good album. 50 Cent is the reason why The Game blew up in the mainstream by giving him hits. Game couldn't write a hit working with Dre, so Dre called 50 to help The Game out. I think that's true. I think 50 Cent is a huge reason why The Game went 5 times platinum on the documentary. But Game's second album had no help from 50 Cent or Dr. Dre. And this is a great album. The Doctor's Advocate, great album. And then Game's mixtapes, the Stop Snitching, Stop Lying, You Know What It Is, Volume 1 through 3, Ghost Unit, those didn't have 50 Cent on it. Those were great mixtapes. The Red Room, you know what I mean? The Red Album, Break Lights. A lot of people forget about the Break Lights mixtape. This is peak blog era. I think this mixtape and More About Nothing by Wale dropped on the same day. I don't remember the cover looking like this, though. I remember a different color for this mixtape. I don't remember it being like this. But yeah, this is all. Yes, Game had a lot of help from 50 on that first album, the documentary. But 50 can't take credit for the mixtapes or his second album. Let's look at Game's discography real quick. Because I kind of forget some of the albums he put out later in his career. The discography. Jesus Piece, let me look at this track list. LAX was a good album too. It was more mainstream. For how people wrote The Game off after 50 and Dre kind of stepped away from him musically, his next 2 albums following that up were good. Jesus Piece. This is, yeah, Ali Boumaier. This is a good album, bro. Kendrick on this. Pusha T. Look at these features, bro. Pusha T, Kendrick, J. Cole, 2 Chainz, Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Kanye. This is a good album. It wasn't trash. It's not one of his best, but it wasn't trash. Born to Rap is a really good album. Yeah, I don't think I listened to that one. I like Game, but Diddy took him shopping before he met Trace. Yo, what is we talking about? Game is top 10 LA in my opinion. Consistent. A spitter 2, pause, and great album, but expect the last one. Yeah. Agreed. That's why I have Game 5B with Nipsey. You could put either one 5. I feel uncomfortable leaving Nipsey out the top 5 But if it's for game, then yeah, that's sure. But nobody else can be moved. You can't move Kendrick. You can't move Snoop. You can't move Quick. You can't move Ice Cube. You can't move them for Nipsey or Game. So they gotta battle it out for number 5. We'll make this a different color so it's less confusing. Yeah, they gotta battle it out for number 5. So anyway, we move along in the list. Roddy Ricch, 28. This is way too high. Yo, this is way too high. These guys should be back in the 40s. Number 27, Daz Dillinger. Okay. Daz will be in my top 25. Rapper and producer. Some would say Dr. Dre took his whole production style or used it a lot. You know what I mean? When you listen to Dr. Dre on them NWA albums, the beats is different. When you listen to Dr. Dre on the DOC, the beats is different. Once Dr. Dre kind of got into the G-Funk bag and you listen to Daz's beats, which were also G-Funk, you know, on the Dog Food album and all that, it's like, yeah, Daz has been doing these type of beats. This is different for Dre. This is a new sound for Dre. Like the Chronic and all that, Doggy Style and all that, this is just different. And Dre never used that production style after that. Daz still uses G-Funk. So when you listen to Dr. Dre's albums thereafter, like his work on the documentary and his work on Get Rich or Die Trying, you can usually hear a common thread in a producer's work. Before G-Funk era, Dre never had that sound, and after it, he never had that sound. There's like no remnant of that sound. Like when you listen to DJ Quick's music, you can hear some commonalities. DJ Quick has many styles. He got a whole like R&B album, Rhythmalism, but you can hear similarities in things he does. With the Dre and Daz thing, you don't hear the similarity in Dre's music. No one can do it better. Does not sound like anything from the G-Funk era. And the stuff after the G-Funk era does not sound like. All I'm saying is some would say, and Daz would even say, I think he said it before, that Dre was taking some of his influence. That's all we'll say, allegedly. So yeah, I'll have Daz top 25. They have him number 27. That's perfectly fine. Rapper, producer, very influential for the West Coast. G-Funk sound. G-Funk is from Above the Law. Yeah, shout out to Above the Law. Let me see, who was in Above the Law group? Hey, was that with AMG and all that? Above the group. That's what. Yeah. Oh yeah. KMG. Who was the group? Who was the rap group with AMG and all that? See, I don't know much about Above the Law. I think if I listened to one of their songs, I would know some of it. But this is a blank. This is a blind side in my hip hop knowledge. I don't know much. Like, if you show me one of their albums, I can't start listing songs like I can for a lot of people. So, anyways, number 26, Doja Cat. She should be higher, but no, I'm just playing. I think this is fine. This is fine. I would have Doja top 25, top 30. She's still got a lot to do, but 26 is fine. Black Superman. What about Andre Young? I mean, we're putting rappers. Dr. Dre's not really a rap. I guess he does rap, but I mean, this guy's getting it. I don't know. Would you put Diddy in the top New York rappers? Because putting Dr. Dre in the top LA rappers is like putting Diddy in top New York rappers. Like, they're producers more than anything. They're not really rappers. They have people writing their lyrics. So I wouldn't put Dr. Dre in this list. The Game has a top 5 rapping voice. Yeah, you got the little raspy thing going on. Yeah, he got a good rapping voice. I like Ghostface. Always like Ghostface rapping voice. Hey, yo. And that was West Side Gun, not Ghostface. Yeah, that Born in the Trap was Red album. Y'all love that Born in the Trap song. DJ Premier, yeah. Rudy R.A., no ball. You know hoops. The Fixers was DJ Quick. Yeah, AMG was a part of Quick's camp. Yeah, the Fixers was DJ Quick. Can you work with that? Yeah, West Side Boogie's not on this list. The fact West Side Boogie shouldn't. He should be on the list, really. If Blueface is number 50, you can replace that. You can replace him with West Side Boogie. But now that we're in the 20s, no, West Side Boogie should not be in the 20s. He's not one of the 20 best LA rappers of all time. You know. So Doja Cat, number 26. This is fine. I would have her top 25, 30. She's probably going to go down as the second greatest female rapper of all time, second to Nicki Minaj. She's still very young. She still has work to do. This is why I would not firmly place her in the top 20. How old is Doja? She got to be like 30 by now, 28, 30. She's 29. So yeah. Oh, they changed it. On her wiki, it used to say she's from Tarzana. Now it says LA. But yeah, she's from Tarzana. You can watch her interviews. Yo, at 25, we got Tyga. Oh, man. I'm going to try to say this without disrespecting Tyga, right? Because Tyga had a moment where he was hot, super hot. Like before, like right on the verge of the blog era. Tyga was already on MTV. Put the lime in the coconut, mix it all up. You know, all that Santi Gold era and all that MTV. This is when MTV was still good. It had great shows. But even before Rack City, which is Tyga's Rack City is Tyga mimicking YG. The Rack City is YG's sound, right down to DJ Mustard on the beat, the delivery. Rack City is YG, right? But anyway, and YG even freestyled over that beat on one of his mixtapes, if I'm not mistaken. But this is too high. See, I don't necessarily have an issue with the people they're including, except for Blueface. Blueface should not be on this list. But if you're gonna rank Tyga number 25, and you got J-Rock below him, you got Razcast and Dub C and Merge and all these underground legends, Coolio, Lady of Rage, Ab Soul, Evidence, Crooked Eye, BG Perico, and Blue. You got all these guys this low, and you got Tyga top 25. To me, this sounds like someone's getting paid off. Let's see their reasoning. Over the past decade, no one has dominated LA radio and house parties quite like Tyga. No one? Really? No one? 34 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, including 3 top 10 hits, 7 albums charted on Billboard Top 200, with 3 reaching top 10 and 1 certified platinum. Yeah, Tyga do got the hits. But just speaking as someone from LA, from SoCal, this is a little much. See, it's the ranking. Tyga should be in the top 50. He should be. But the ranking is all messed up. And maybe even 25 would be good for Tyga, depending on who's ranked before him. See, you can't rank Dub C and Coolio and all them back there and then rank Tyga so far ahead of him. It just doesn't make sense. Rage Baitless. I understand that she's from LA or somewhere in LA County, but she doesn't scream West Coast to me. Well, I think you have a pigeonholed view of what West Coast is. Because to a lot of people, Tyler, the Creator, never screamed West Coast until he showed up at the Pop Out. And now everyone's automatically associating Tyler, the Creator with LA because he showed up to Kendrick's thing. Or Steve Lacy's from Compton, right? You know, West Coast is not one set thing. Doja Cat is from LA. We have a lot of talent down here. Down here, meaning down here in the southern part. Shout out to the Bay Area, though. I don't get what they mean by rappers based on this list. What are the parameters? Hits, popularity, name recognition? Maybe their parameter and their methodology is up here somewhere. Oh, this is too much to read. We're not reading all this. Oh, they talk about Tupac here. Maybe I should have read this. Putting this, the DLC got, does a DLC count? I don't know. He ain't he from Texas? No, he's from Texas. Proper, right? Putting this list together wasn't easy. LA is a transplant town, a city of dreams, which attracts aspiring artists of all kinds. So what qualifies someone as an LA rapper? For this list, it's an artist who creatively came to life in the city and reflects the ethos in their music. And by LA, we mean LA County. Okay, so yeah, everything we talked about earlier, I should have read this first, right? Well, whatever. Oh yeah, they're talking about LA County as a whole. That's why is Pomona LA County? County. It gotta be, right? It's not San Bernardino County. Yeah, so Sugar Free should have been on this list because we count all of LA County. Anyways, that's why some names didn't make the cut. Tupac might seem like an LA rapper, but he only lived in a city for a couple months, right? And although he had some big hits under the Death Row banner, he was a fully formed platinum selling artist by the time California Love came out. The DLC was already making music in Dallas as part of the Feel Fresh crew before he came to LA. Meanwhile, rappers like Exhibit, Corrupt, Lady of Rage all made their names on LA's rap scene, despite the fact they didn't grow up in the city. Spoiler alert, they are on this list. So I don't even agree with how they're defining. I'm okay with using LA County by LA, which, I mean, no one. It's just funny because no one. I'm fine with using LA County because it's something everyone can understand, right? What about Anaheim? What county? Anaheim is Orange County, right? Anaheim County. What county is it? It's Northern Orange County. But yeah, no one will be like, yo, Pomona, I'm from LA. No, but anyways. It's easier for everyone else to understand who's not from California. But I don't agree with using LA rapper as someone who creatively came to life in the city. To me, if you didn't go to school out here at some point, I'm not including you as an LA rapper. And even then, like, that's the bare minimum. What school did you go to? Suge and Big U are on this list? Nah. Hold on, Troy, isn't Coolio from Pennsylvania? Let's fact check it. Coolio's a little bit before my time, so. It says he was born in LA. Yeah, Coolio was born in South Central LA. Then they moved to Compton when he was 8. So, boom, there you go. Fact checked it. Shout out to the internet, man. We get right to the bottom of things. So anyway, let's keep going. We're moving along this list pretty swimmingly. We were at number 25 with Tyga, which maybe you can include Tyga 25. There's an argument to be made, right? Because again, Tyga was popular for like 10 straight years. Like popular. He was on TV like before the blog era, or like right at the beginning. He was already on MTV. Then he came out with all these hits. So there is something to be said for Tyga. One could argue he's top 25, the tail end. But you can't have him top 25 and then have all these legends way before him. Like, if you got Tyga top 25, those legends got to also be somewhere in that vicinity. So it's the ranking that makes this look crazy, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Tyga's contributions to hip hop are overlooked. Draco the Ruler, number 24. So we finally got someone who's actually from LA, right? LA proper. 24 is high for Draco. High, and I like Draco. I be with the lick read. Diamonds on my wrist, not a didn't come from Tiffany. I like Draco. But 24 is high. Again, this list is front loaded with recent rappers. There's like recency bias. I think that every name they've included deserves to be on this list so far, except Blueface. But like, how do you have Blueface but you don't got Sugar Free? Come on, man. Draco, this is recency bias. He would be in my top 50 for sure, but he wouldn't be number 24. Yeah, modern day cult legend, arguably the most influential figure in LA's contemporary rap scene. I don't even know if it's arguably. I think Draco the Ruler is the most influential rapper post-blog era in LA. Everybody took this man flow. Even Kendrick. That whole hey now, say now, big face Buddha and all that, that's Draco. That's Draco. Big face Buddha. Kendrick has never said that. That's Kendrick paying homage to Draco the Ruler. Oh shit. That's Kendrick paying homage to Draco the Ruler. Big face Buddha and all that, that's Draco. And even Not Like Us. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. That's Draco the Ruler's fault. So everyone when they heard Kendrick do the whole, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Everybody knew that was Draco. That's Draco's flow. That whole first verse of Not Like Us is not the whole first verse, but the way it starts, that's Draco. So yeah, I don't even know if it's arguably the most influential. Everybody done took Draco the Ruler's flow and delivery and like cadence and ran with it. Ricochet said, question, why do LA rappers rap off beat? You're looking at the reason. You're looking at the reason why LA rappers adopted that style. Draco the Ruler. This is the reason. They're saying Whack 100 is at number 3. Degenerate Sharingan said, "It's dilated pupils. Aren't they from LA?" Yeah, they had evidence in the 40s. They put evidence way up here. So yeah, we got some dilated pupils representation with evidence. If they ever make a list for Texas rappers, it should be Scarface, K Reno, then Zero. You put K Reno over Zero? I don't know. I would think people put Zero number 2 to Scarface, if not number 1. What about Trade of Truth? Trade of Truth got to be in there too, right? Y'all peep Kendrick with the Frosty the Snowman flow on the second verse of Hey Now? What Frosty the Snowman song are you referencing? I don't know. Because someone also say that's Almighty Suspects flow too. Number 23, Vince Staples. It's too high. Vince Staples should not be in the top 25 at all. He don't got the discography. Like, he's released the albums, but they're just not, people don't mess with the songs like that. Yeah, this list is front loaded. The issue that I have with this list, even more so than the rankings, is the recency bias. You got Vince Staples, Draco the Ruler, and Tyga this high. All the older rappers are way in the back here. And then what they're going to do is they're going to pepper the top 10 with, you know, the, of course, legends, the Snoops and all this. Vince Staples at 23, this is egregious. Vince Staples at 23 this is almost more egregious than Blueface being at number 50. Blueface should not be on this shit at all. Right? Blueface should not be on this. Vince Staples at 23 that high, that's worse than Blueface being number 50. Because at least for Blueface, you could make the argument, yo, I'll put him last though. He's last. Vince Staples should not be in. I don't even know if I put Vince Staples on his list. So if Vince Staples is on this list, I guess we put in Earl, because Earl got the actual catalog. So if we put Vince Staples on this list, I guess Earl Sweatshirt is going to be on this list too, right? Yeah, where's Mike Shinoda? Vince's debut is great. Yeah, that was a long time ago though. Not Like Us is definitely Draco influence, to exclude LA, especially around the Send It Up to Pac part. Yeah, Vince pushed abstract hip hop with Big Fish Theory. Big Fish Theory didn't affect anything in hip hop. I'm just keeping it real. And I'm someone who anticipated that album. Big Fish Theory didn't change anything. Like, it came and went. Literally. With all due respect to Vince Staples. And when Vince Staples dropped that album, I was living in his city. I was living in Long Beach, Lakewood proper, but I was living off Carson and Sherry. I'm telling you, Big Fish Theory did not affect anything. People, I'm in his city. You're not riding around seeing people bump Vince Staples. You're not at the Lakewood Mall. You're not at the beach. You're not at Cal State Long Beach. And people are playing Vince Staples. Big Fish Theory did nothing. And I was in his city when it dropped. This is probably the most egregious thing I've seen on this list, actually. This is worse than Tyga at 25. And this is worse than Blueface being on the list. This is way too high. I think I was a little harsh by saying I wouldn't put Vince Staples on the list at all. But he would be in the 40s somewhere. Absol below Vince Staples is outrageous, yeah. So we're at the point in the list where people are getting paid off. You know, you start to see the payola kicking in. Blueface could be last, but Vince shouldn't make the list at all. Yeah, I take that back. But Vince Staples, he should be significantly lower. That was a little harsh. Oh yeah, so I'd say, yo, if Vince Staples 23, I guess we put an Earl Sweatshirt on this. So if Earl Sweatshirt is 22, they're gonna have Tyler the Creator like number 5 or number 6. How do I feel about Earl at 22? Earl actually has the catalog. Obviously, he doesn't have the hit records, and he doesn't have the impact. Like, Earl got his style. The style Earl's, I don't know about his style now, because I haven't listened to one of his albums in like 2 years. But Earl got influenced by Mike. Shout out to Mike. So I don't even know if Earl has the influence or the impact. He has no hits. There's not an Earl song that you could throw on that people are just going to recite, unless it's like on the Odd Future, those early Odd Future joints. But Earl got the skill and he has the underground catalog. So I'm actually not super mad at this. But Vince Staples, I don't know. I just feel the 20s is high for these guys. But Earl, I'm actually not mad at the Earl. Vince Staples over Solo. Respectfully, he belongs here. Nah, I'll put Ab-Soul above Vince Staples for sure. Well, I think LA rappers were rapping off beat before Draco. Sugar Free comes to mind. Yeah, that was a different timeline, though. Sugar Free was a different timeline. Yeah, I mean, obviously Draco the Ruler is not the first rapper to rap off beat. But the way people are doing it now, like Kendrick on Hey Now, like Kendrick on that first verse of Not Like Us. I guess it's the second verse. Yeah, the second verse. No, the first verse. I'm John Stockton. Sometimes, yeah, first verse. Yeah, Draco didn't invent it, but he definitely popularized it for his era. Number 21, MC Ren. Yeah, he says a lot of weird things in his raps. MC Ren says a lot of weird things in his rap songs. Once Ice Cube left NWA, if you listen to that straight out of Compton, it's a much more socially conscious, socially aware, socio-political, dare I say even socio-economical album. The second NWA album is just, and there's some songs I like on, Always Into Something. But when compared to the first NWA album, that second NWA album, after Ice Cube leaves as a writer, and I would assume MC Ren became the lead writer, because, I mean, who else is writing on that group? Not Eazy-E, not Dr. Dre, not DJ Ella, right? Arabian Prince, no. That second NWA album compared to the first, it's a lot more idiotic. A lot of dumb things said on that album that Ice Cube probably would have checked out the door, or he would have wrote it differently. I'm not going to even pull up some of the things, rapey things that MC Ren has said on records. He got a lot of weird things he said. I think Ice Cube carried, I'm going to go here real quick. I think in terms of songwriting, it's very obvious that Ice Cube carried that group. And I don't think MC Ren's pen is even good like that. Like, I don't think his pen is like, even for the 90s, I don't think his pen is even like that good. Oh, you mean the third NWA album? Oh, yeah, because I got that first one. Let me fact check. Let's fact check. I got fact check. Hold on. NWA discography. Fact check. Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, because you're talking about NWA and the Posse. Yeah, but for studio albums. I'm talking about this album. After Ice Cube left. Yeah, things got real stupid really quick. And that doesn't mean that this album don't got some good songs. Always Into Something, Appetite for Destruction. But, you listen to some of these songs, She Swallowed It, One Less Chick. Just a lot of stupid things said on this album. And you can see one of the main writers is MC Ren. You got the DLC on here at some points. But it's just it became very obvious that Ice Cube carried the group. There's no Express Yourself on that second NWA album. Even F the Police, that was the way that message was delivered on that first NWA album. Ice Cube could have delivered that message a lot more harsh than what he delivered it. But even the way he put it out there were some parts that are a little, edgy and racy, but it came off more like Chuck D said, like CNN. Like Ice Cube was more observing, which is a skill of songwriting that NWA just lost when Ice Cube left the group. So, yeah. 21, MC Ren. He just says a little too much rapey things for me. It makes me uncomfortable. It's not something I'm going to listen to. DLC carries the group also, yeah. RJ, Mr. LA, and Dom Kennedy need to be on this list. That's a fact. If this list don't got an RJ, but it got Blueface, and you got Greedo should be on the list for sure. If you put Greedo on the list, why you don't put RJ? And RJ should have been on GNX. You put all them weak features. We're not gonna do the GNX rank because we already did a video on that. RJ should have been on that album. He was in the video to Squabble Up though. We got number 20, Warren G. Okay. Ain't this like Snoop Dogg's cousin or something? Played a key role in bringing G-Funk to the mainstream. Very overlooked as a producer, especially with the success of Regulate with Nate Dogg. 8 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, 2 top 10 hits, 5 albums on Billboard 200, 1 being certified triple platinum. So that got to be Regulate, G-Funk era album. Great album. Def Jam might not exist today if it weren't for Warren G. By the mid-90s, Def Jam was on the brink of bankruptcy. It was Warren G's debut, Regulate, the G-Funk era, backed by Nate Dogg's hit, Regulate. Great song that helped put the label back in good financial standing. Yeah. Number 20, this is fine. I like this ranking for Warren G. This is fine. But you got MC Ram, I don't know. Then you got like Vince Staples. Vince Staples is 3 spots away from Warren G, who helped save a whole record label and has a certified classic. I don't know about these rankings, man. Shout out to OJ the Juice, man. What? 19, Dom Kennedy. Okay. I wouldn't put Dom Kennedy above Warren G. I'm surprised they ranked Dom Kennedy this high, but again, this list has some recency bias, which is fine. Indie legend who makes songs that dominate LA parties. I'll tell y'all this, when I went to that Smokers Club tour in 2010, it was Alchemist, it was Evidence. What was that group? Mad Libs group with Mitchie Slick. Come on. Strong Arm Steady. Strong Arm Steady was there. They make sure Mitchie Slick was in that group, right? Yeah, Mitchie Slick. You could put Mitchie Slick on this list. Now he's from San Diego though. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say if you're gonna put Blueface, you put Mitchie Slick, but Mitchie Slick's from San Diego. But yeah, at that show, you had Evidence and Alchemist, you had Mad Lib was in the house, you had Nipsey, you had Currency, Big Sean. It was a star-studded, this is 2010 show. Dom Kennedy was probably the second most popular person. He was the most known person. And this is 2010. Kendrick is really not even out. He has OD out. He doesn't have Section 80 out. So Kendrick is still not really known like that. Dom Kennedy, this is at a point where Dom Kennedy and Nipsey, they were way more popular than Kendrick. Dom Kennedy was extremely popular at one time, especially like 2010, 2011. That was probably his popularity peak. So yeah. The Yellow Album, original Dom Kennedy mixtape, Get Home Safely, which I think is better than the Yellow Album. Y'all love Yellow Album. I like Get Home Safety a little bit more. South Central Cartel was outselling all the New York rappers on the label. Yeah, okay. Or Def Jam signed a West Coast artist. Yeah, shout out to Warren G. Oh, we got Sugar Free on here. Okay. Got to. Okay. And I'm happy that they ranked him this highly because they put a lot of the underground legends, they put them way back there. I like this. Firmly top 20. Sugar Free, the first album, the street gospel album, classic record. Yeah. And then Sugar Free benefited greatly from DJ Quick production. You know, DJ Quick to me got to be top 5, but I know people just don't be giving. Instead of DJ Quick top 5, they're gonna end up putting Dr. Dre in there, right? And Dr. Dre, who's not even a rapper like that, right? But DJ Quick, like a lot of people don't be giving him his flowers, but Sugar Free benefited greatly. Look at this, producer DJ Quick all throughout the album. DJ Quick produced the whole album. If You Stay Ready, Get Your Money While You're Bullshit. Yeah. So this is, I like this ranking. I think this is just fine. Number 18, this is just fine. Saying Get Home Safely is better than the Yellow Album is the most Troy thing I've heard. Get Home Safely is a great album, man. Please feature a Nipsey. Let's go back to the album. Get Home Safely by Dom Kennedy. Go to that track list. Erica Part 2. This is one of my favorite Dom Kennedy songs, period. After School, If I Make It to Heaven. I hope I get to see. Yeah, all that. You need to listen to this album, man, because that's not even a hot take like that. It's number 17, Schoolboy Q. Sure. 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 Schoolboy Q does have a great discography. He's got albums. For a minute, Schoolboy Q was I think still album artist. And I think it's fair that there's a good amount of separation between Ab-Soul and Schoolboy Q because, yeah, Schoolboy Q's, his releases and his amount of hit records is significantly more than Ab-Soul. Even though Ab-Soul is probably the superior lyricist, Schoolboy Q is just more accomplished. 17 for me feels a little high, but I'm not mad at it. Especially Schoolboy Q's from LA proper, right? So it's not like he's from Compton or he's from Long Beach. He's actually from LA. Important songs, That Part featuring Kanye, Hands on the Wheel featuring A$AP Rocky, Man of the Year, Collard Greens, Kendrick. There's, there you go. 6 albums on a Billboard 200. One that peaked at number 1. I didn't even know Schoolboy Q had a number 1 album, and it eventually went platinum. Too High, I love Cuba Nah. Yeah, Schoolboy Q, he had, the reason I don't push back so hard is because Schoolboy Q has a discography. He has the body of work, Habits and Contradictions, Oxymoron, all those which have hit records on it. He's got the features, like with Kendrick, and then like Schoolboy Q has the songs. And you go outside out here, you hear people bumping Schoolboy Q when he drops. I have much less an issue with, even though I feel like some in me's like, yo, that's a little high. That's why I don't fight against it. And Schoolboy Q has the albums. Creatively, he has great albums. I have much less issue with that than I do with Vince Staples, who has none of what I just mentioned. He has none of what I just mentioned. So, oh wow, King T at number 16. Wow, okay. Okay. I like that they give him his props here. A pioneering figure in gangster rap. Founder and leader of the influential Lick Wit crew. See, now King T is a little bit before my time. So let's just do a little history real quick, Capitol Records, Active Fool, yeah, this is before my time. 88, P from Compton. Kid Frost. Mentored the Alcoholics. All I know is King, most of what I know about King T is he was very influential. You ask me to recite some lyrics, I can't do that for you. But I do like that they're giving like a pioneer his props. They rank him above Schoolboy Q. So it puts him right in people's faces. Maybe even me, I'll go back and check out his music. But I can't front like I know a whole lot about King T's actual music. I just know that he's like a very influential out here. Is Vince more of a critical darling? I thought LA messed with him. You don't go around. I've never just heard someone bumping Vince Staples. That's just me. The rappers you hear most in Southern California, since we're using all of LA County, right? In Southern California, the rappers you'll hear people bumping the most. Now it's Kendrick. Before GNX, people really, I don't know. Kendrick was more of a niche thing. Now you hear a lot of Kendrick. You hear a lot of Mozzie. You hear a lot of Nipsey. You hear a lot of Tupac. You hear a lot of Drake. I've never been somewhere and Vince Staples' music just started playing at all. Not Target. Not, outside eating at a restaurant. Not at a resort. Not just a guy driving by playing music. I think Vince Staples is more of an internet thing, respectfully. Now Vince Staples has real legs in Long Beach. I'm not saying this guy is not good at what he does, but in terms of being number 23 on this list, no. Notorious B.I.G. patterned his flow and cadence after King T. Facts. Okay. I can't hit the facts button on that, but I'm going to take your word for it because what you're saying is probably completely right. I just cannot recall any King T music. So that's another blind spot in my hip hop knowledge. I feel like Vince Staples is more known for his acting than his rapping. What is Vince Staples known for? I think people just know that he's a rapper, but I don't think people can start naming Vince Staples songs, in any meaningful way, or start reciting verses. You know what I mean? Vince has become the punching bag of the stream. It's not. I mean, Vince Staples. He's ranked too highly. He's ranked too highly. Number 15, YG. This is fine. Again, YG was popular in LA way before Kendrick. Before I even knew who Kendrick Lamar was, YG was already popular. I want to say YG started popping in LA around the same time Drake started popping, like with So Far Gone. Maybe a little bit before. YG has been very popular in LA for a very long time. So top 15 for YG, even though he's not the greatest rapper, this is very fair. Well, one could argue he could even be higher. He could be more within that top 15, but I think it's fine. I think top 10 for YG is too much. I think top 15 is perfect for YG. Tyler is not a top 10 LA rapper. That's laughable. Well, you have certain media darlings who are just not, they're not going to be left off lists like these. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of LA rappers, YG for sure should be above Tyler. I mean, talking about LA rappers, but you got certain media darlings like Kendrick, like Tyler, who's another media darling, Dr. Dre. They're going to get the nod in lists like these, mainstream lists like these. His message on songs like North North and When Sparks Fly. Yeah, I'm not saying Vince Staples is weak. Summertime '06 and all this. Yeah, he's just too high on the list. On Black Panther and Spider-Verse soundtracks, Vince was all over those. Yeah, I mean, but these are movie soundtracks, though. I'm talking about his albums. Bro. Like, with Kilo, remember Kilo Kish when she used to be all over Vince Staples' music? I was like, we're not going to do no Kilo Kish, slander. Exhibit, again, is he from LA? Some would argue no, but this is fine. Top 15. But I think by taking out these guys who's not really from LA, then we start having better positioning for YG, which YG should have. He should be top 15 is fine, but I think he could even find himself top 13. But we got guys that's not really from LA on here. Exhibit, fine. I don't really know his story. Let's look it up. Of how he got to LA. Ain't he from like Jersey or something? Pimp My Ride. Hold on, let's see. Exhibit started to rap at 14 under the pseudonym Exhibit A. Well, I never knew that. He lived in Detroit until primary school, then completed high school in New Mexico. He moved to LA permanently in his late teens. So, yeah, I would not include Exhibit on this list personally because he's not from LA. Corrupt, same thing, but sure. Exhibit, Corrupt, this is fine if we're including him. I think this 14, kind of high for Exhibit. I'll put Exhibit behind YG and King T. Yeah, I would rank Schoolboy Q and Exhibit near each other. That's a good. Why would YG be over Tyler? Because he's more popular in LA specifically. Because YG's more popular in LA. He has more like LA anthems. Like you just drive around LA and you hear YG. Like it's different crowds of people, right? Like the college, like frat guys and all this, and like the super rich people in LA, you'll hear them listening to Tyler. But if you just drive around, Crenshaw Plaza or whatever, you hear YG. Exhibit from New Mexico. Kendrick said early in his career, people thought Kendrick was from New York because of his rap style. I knew Kendrick was from out here because he had J-Rock on his albums and he was on TDE. But yeah, if you didn't know about J-Rock and TDE, yeah, you might assume that Kendrick is from. And Kendrick, in all his music, he says where he's from. I don't know. Schoolboy Q should be higher. Maybe not top 10, but higher. Sure. And again, that's what I was kind of saying earlier. I think YG could find better positioning if we take off these guys who's not really from LA, like Exhibit and Corrupt. MC8, this is, great. So if you got MC8 at 12, they're about to rank DJ Quick right after him. Obviously, this is what, people do. Is this a Warner Brothers hat? What? Yeah, MC8, this is fine. Top 12, this is good for MC8. Again, MC8, a little bit before my time, but I've heard his music. If you play GTA San Andreas, the hood done took me under. Oh yeah, San Andreas, that's like, Radio Los Santos. MC8 was all over that. Shout out to MC8. This is fine, number 12. Kendrick has more of an East Coast style for sure. Exhibit should be where Blueface is not. Drake get more love in the city where you from, so he should be on the list. Yeah, nah. Drake will be the number 1 Canada rapper of all time. You're in Canada rappers for sure. Number 11, The Game. This is very low. Very low for The Game. This is very low. Game is top 10, West Coast rappers for sure. Not even just LA. And Game is not from LA, he's from Compton, but again, we're establishing that we're including all this in one. I'm counting NorCal too, and Kern County, Merced, whatever y'all got going on out there. I'm counting all of California. Game is top 10, all California. So to have him on the list of LA County and he's number 11, this is very low. A key transitional figure, bridging Dr. Dre, 90s rap, to the 2000s rise of artists like Kendrick Lamar and Nipsey. Yeah. A lot of people's first time hearing Nipsey or Kendrick was on Game's mixtape. He had them very early. 3 number 1 albums, including 1 double platinum release. The documentary is 5 times platinum, right? Oh, let's fact check. Fact check. The Game. I love fact checking. I hate being wrong. I like to fact check. Let's look at the Game discography. Oh, look. I thought documentary was 5 times. I mean, maybe they're counting other countries. It's 2 times. So correction. Documentary is 2 times platinum. Where did I get the 5 times platinum number? Game might have said it in one of his songs or something. But anyway, yeah. Documentary 2 times platinum. Still great sales. 2 million people went to a store and bought that album with Napster and LimeWire. Piracy going wild. Hate It or Love It, One Blood, My Life featuring Wayne. Sure, that was popular. Yeah, what would the West Coast hip hop scene be without The Game? He's a bridge between 90s rapping and 2010s. There was a moment in mid-2000s where Game was aiming for the throne, yeah. This is low. In a top 10 all California, Game would be top 10. Probably like 9 or 8, because you got to include Too Short. You got to include E40. Some people would include the Jacka. Some people would include Mac Dre. But E40 and Too Short are for sure taking 2 slots in the all California top 10. And even with those 2 guys taking 2 slots, Game would still be top 10. And he would not be number 10. He'd be like maybe number 8 or 9, maybe number 7. This is very low for The Game. The Game disrespect, but I understand the goofy antics overshadow the music. The documentary had 2 parts to it. Oh yeah, there's 3 parts, right? There's a documentary 1.5, and then there's a documentary 2, right? Am I tripping, or was there a documentary 1.5? Oh, it's 2.5. Yeah, there's a documentary 1, documentary 2, documentary 2.5. Yeah, very low for The Game. Very low. Red Rose, Rice Ceilings. You can hear the J influence on K-Dot's first mixtape, Minor of the Year. The intro has Jay-Z written all over it. Yeah, I've actually never heard anything from that mixtape, Minor of the Year. Title sounds crazy. Number 10, Nipsey Hussle. So they have kind of the ranking that I did. I put Nipsey and Game right next to each other. They decided to put Nipsey above Game. I'm fine with that. But I'm also fine with the reverse. I don't think we need to say much about Nip. We already know what Nip did. He only has 1 album, but he has a lot of mixtapes. Nipsey does. So, and this is during the era where a lot of the mixtapes were better than the albums. So it's not like they're mixtapes and they're kind of throwaways. Nah, the original Marathon mixtape, The Marathon Continues, which is part 2. I mean, these are great great mixtapes. Crenshaw, Mailbox Money. I really wasn't a fan of the Slauson Boy tapes. And then the Bullets Ain't Got No Name 1 through 3. Yeah, he only has one album proper, but when you count his mixtapes, the great mixtapes, I think all the Bullets mixtapes are great. Definitely the Marathon series. So that's 5 great mixtapes. Then you got Crenshaw and Mailbox Money. You talking about 6, 7. You talking about like 7+ albums of great music. So yeah, for the people who say Nipsey Hussle, oh, he only has one album, he doesn't have enough music, they just don't know about his mixtapes. Easy E, sure. And I just hesitate to put people who have ghostwriters on these types of lists. But for influence, and if you're not just counting, so if Easy E's on this list, Dr. Dre's going to be on this list. Again, we haven't mentioned Tyler, the Creator, so we're about to rank Tyler, the Creator, above The Game and above Nipsey Hussle and Easy E. This is what's going to happen. We're going to rank Tyler, the Creator, and the best rappers of LA. We're going to rank Tyler above MC8, King T, Nipsey Hussle, The Game, and Easy E. But again, there are just certain media darlings who are always going to get the nod in mainstream lists like this. Kendrick is about to be number 1 on this list. Dr. Dre, Tyler, the Creator, media darlings. Easy E, sure. I think Game should be ahead of Nip. Nip is more known for his philanthropy than his music, just not as well known. Nipsey is known for his music. I think and also my viewpoint is biased. So y'all probably actually have a better view on this than I do, because I'm very close to, like, I'm in SoCal. So y'all who are not in SoCal, y'all probably have a better bird's eye view of who's popular, whose music is getting played. But in Southern California, Nipsey Hussle's music gets played. Like, I hear Nipsey a lot. So from what I hear from people who listen to his music, from just going outside and just hearing traffic pass by, people listen to Nipsey's music. But yeah, what you're saying, if you're not local, more people just know him for his philanthropy, if you're not like in that box of Southern California. So I get it. Number 8, Be Real. This is very high for Be Real. Be Real? I don't see how you put Evidence in Murs and all these guys way back there in the 40s, but then Be Real is this high. And shout out to Cypress Hill, but this is very high to me. No pun, because you know Cypress Hill. Smoke it up, take a puff, exhale. Sure, I mean, this is very high for Be Real to me. You know what I mean? But what y'all think? Do you think Tyler has become overhyped? I just don't really, I've never been a huge fan of Tyler's solo music. I liked Odd Future collectively. Frank Ocean, Sid, The Internet, Earl, even Vince Staples when he was associated with Odd Future, Casey Veggies when he was associated with Odd Future. I liked Odd Future as a whole, but Tyler's solo music, it just doesn't speak to me. From what I see, Tyler has a niche fan base out here, and it kind of lends to my pie chart. Y'all remember the pie charts? It's been a minute since I did a pie chart. Here we go. I don't even need to open it. Or I can open it because I can go to the point in the video. Tyler, the Creator. Huge. Yeah, Tyler kind of has a niche fan base to where you're not just going to hear people bumping his music out here like you will hear Mozzie, Nipsey, like people just driving by, you know, people in their cars. You just kind of ear hustle. You even hear guys like X4. You hear Draco. You're not going to hear Tyler in that same way, depending on where you are. Tyler's fan base, to me, from what I've seen, it's more, he has like an upper income fan base. That's the best way I can explain it. Mid-upper income festival regulars. Even in college, I just didn't hear people listening. We knew who he was, but I just don't hear people bumping Tyler like that. I don't know if I would call him overhyped. His music just doesn't speak to me. You know, I don't have like these psychotic thoughts. So his music doesn't speak to me. But he's a media darling. He's a media darling, so he's going to be high on these lists. What Be Real did for Cypress Hill indicates he's deserving of top 10. Be Real is good. He has a very good style. He wasn't trying to sound like nobody else. To me, number 8 is just very high. Tyler is now a better producer and songwriter, but I prefer his old, dark, raw production. I liked his beat Rolling Papers over most of his production since Fireboy. You talking about Domo Genesis Rolling Papers? Tyler produced on that? I thought Mellow Hype did that album. You talking about the Domo Genesis Rolling Papers, right? They don't even have, where's Rolling Papers? Here it is. Oh, they got that as a mixtape. Oh yeah, Tyler did produce that. Remember this album came out this like around the same time Wiz Khalifa dropped his album Rolling Papers. There's like a little mini controversy about that. I don't know if people remember that. That Domo Genesis, like Wiz had already announced that his album is called Rolling Papers, but I guess Domo Genesis beat him to the punch and named his album or his mixtape Rolling Papers. There's like a mini controversy at the time. Yeah, I think Tyler's getting a lot of hype because his albums have gotten better over time. His first few albums were cool, but he's become progressively more creative and nuanced. I see Tyler, the Creator's albums like the same way I see movies. Like me personally, I'm not going to watch the same movie multiple times. I go to the cinema to see it there, and then I leave, and I just never reference it again. That's me with Tyler's albums. I don't find that his albums have really, or his songs in general, I don't find myself wanting to replay them. To me, they're just experiences to be had one time. Number 7, Ice-T. This is a great position for Ice-T. Number 7. This is great. This is a good ranking, good spot. Some would argue he should be higher, but this is fine. Number 7, Ice-T. This is fine, but we're about to rank Tyler, the Creator, above Ice-T, above Eazy-E, Nipsey Hussle, The Game, MC8, YG. What's going to happen is we're going to rank Tyler above all of them, right? My question is, how high are they about to rank Tyler, the Creator? DJ Quick, nice. I like that they have DJ Quick so high up in this list. I think it's about damn time people start giving DJ Quick the props. DJ Quick has when you talk about just discography, I think the West Coast artist with the best discography is Kendrick. I don't think any of their discographies, in terms of quality and quantity, like those two combined, Kendrick, dude ain't missed yet, right? Well, Mr. Moran and Big Steppers, y'all know I don't really like that album. But number 2, not even number 2, 1B, DJ Quick's discography is almost flawless, man. I'm speaking about his solo discography. Quick is the Name, like this little run of albums right here. Quick is the Name, Way Too Funky, Safe and Sound, Rhythmalism, Balance and Options. That's fire. Different sounds, different looks. He's giving you a lot of different stuff. It goes from G-Funk to more rhythmalism, R&B, Tony's on that album. DJ Quick, very overlooked. Even the Book of David, which came out in 2011, that had some stuff on it. And then you look at the work he's done with groups. Just look at the stuff he's done for Sugar Free. I think he even produced an album by Problem, who now goes by Jason Martin. Pretty sure the album was called Rosecrans. I'm happy to see DJ Quick this high. My thing now is, how high are we ranking Tyler? So there are certain media darlings who are always going to get the nod in these lists. Kendrick, Dr. Dre, Tyler, the Creator. These are all media darlings. So we're about to put Tyler, the Creator as top 5 LA rapper of all time. Yep, number 5. Let's see their reasoning. A true creative savant, elite at rapping, producing, and making classic albums. So this is where we get critical. Because DJ Quick does similar, right? He's not directing his videos like Tyler is. I don't know if I would call Tyler elite at producing or rapping. He does both well, but I think it's a bit overblown. Yeah, let's see the reasoning. 3 number one albums, with 2 of those being certified double platinum, 46 songs on a Billboard Hot 100, and 3 that peaked in the top 10. So if we're just going off numbers, it's hard to argue, but I don't really care about numbers that much. Important songs: See You Again featuring Kali Uchis, Yonkers, and Earthquake featuring Playboy Cardi. After stepping into the light, and again, we have to give Tyler his props. His group Odd Future has spawned so many stars. Earl Sweatshirt, Sid from the internet, Mellow Hype had their time. We just spoke about Damo Genesis, Frank Ocean, and then it spawned actors and guys who are now on the industry side of things. So Tyler should be ranked highly, right? But I just wouldn't. My holdback is I wouldn't rank him above some of these other guys, right? And I think the whole creative savant, elite at rapping, producing, making classic albums, I think that's overblown. I don't know if I thought about it, does Tyler the Creator have a classic album? I don't know. I would have to think about that. I would say if I maybe one. I think Tyler's fans and his fan base love him a lot more than the general public, right? So I don't know. He's not an elite rapper or a producer, in my opinion, but he has his lane. Yeah, so let's go. Yeah, he got clothing brands. He's got comedy skits. He has a festival. All this is important. So Tyler should be ranked highly, but yeah. Anyways, we've seen artists. Okay, we get it. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Enough of my opinions about Tyler. What do y'all think? Tyler shouldn't be in the top 10, and I've been a fan of his since Goblin. Yeah, I used to have a Tyler Goblin poster in my room in high school. I can't stand Earthquake and What's Your Name. Both songs are annoying. Igor is top quality. Is it a classic? Is it a classic album though? Tyler isn't elite at rapping. I would give him elite production though. I'd have him at like 25. I don't think Tyler's an elite producer. I think DJ Quick is an elite producer. Dr. Dre. I don't know if I put Tyler. I think Tyler makes good beats at times, and I think he has good creative ideas. But again, I think the person who made this list or who wrote this, I think they are a fan of Tyler. And yeah, Tyler's fans do view him as a creative savant. So, savant. Yeah. No one listens to Tyler for bars except his stans. Tyler's bottom 25. Yeah, Tyler would be like, for me, he would be like 15 to 25 in that rank. Flower Boy or Igor are classic tier. I don't know. To Tyler fans, I think to Tyler fans, yes, those are the albums. But like, it's like the conversation I was having with July Jackson. It's not just what we think, it's what the general public think. This is also determines what's a classic album. And I don't know if Tyler has one. He has good albums and he has great creative experiences and things that really make you think differently about music. But a classic album, elite at rapping, elite at producing, and elite at making classic albums, to me, this is just fan talk. This is a fan talking. They say you have no sound. Can y'all hear me? They said I have no sound. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. The sound seems good on my side. But if y'all can't hear, I can unplug and unplug the mic, plug and replug. Let me know. Y'all can hear me in the chat? Let me know. I'll give y'all a second. Tyler's a better producer than Cole, but his rapping ain't crazy like a watered down Kanye. Yeah, y'all can hear. Yeah, my sound's fine. My sound's fine. Usually when I hit the mic, the sound, sometimes it gets unplugged, but I haven't touched the mic. Okay, cool. Courtney chimed in just to say I can hear you. Good looking out. Okay. So yeah. Dre and yeah, I wouldn't say Tyler's a elite. Again, to me, this is just a fan talking. Media darling. Yeah. Number 4, Dr. Dre. So we have him on best LA rappers. He's not really a rapper like that. But again, media darling. we know what Dr. Dre's done. It doesn't really need to be reviewed. I am interested in the numbers though. 44 million records. 3 albums in the top 3 of the Billboard 200, and 1 is certified 6 times platinum. That's got to be 2001, right? This discography, that's got to be 2001, because I don't think The Chronic was going 6 times platinum. Yeah, that's 2001. Man, yeah, that's Dre. Deep cover, Nothing But a G Thing. Forgot about Dre featuring Eminem. I wouldn't put him on a rappers list. If you put Dr. Dre on a list like this, so Complex, I bet they're going to get a bunch of views for this, and it's going to make them do other regions. If you put Dr. Dre on this list for top 50 best rappers in LA, you got to put Diddy on a top 50 best rappers in New York. And Diddy has to be ranked highly because Diddy also has the album sold, but it's kind of foolish thinking about like Diddy, best rappers, because no one looks at Diddy like a rapper, but it's kind of the same thing going on with Dre. Diddy has rapped. Diddy's rapped verses before. Hey, yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as we here, then we might as well shine together. Diddy has rapped on classic records, but we all know he's not writing those raps. It's the same thing with Dr. Dre. So when they do the New York list, the New York City list, they have to include Diddy in the top 5. Facts. If you're going to include Dr. Dre. I feel y'all Tyler's too high, but commercial success has to count for something. If we're just going to grow off commercial success, we can just rank everybody by album sold. And then Tyga would be top 10 and, Dre would be the best LA rapper and Nipsey would not even be on the list. It's easy to just rank them off albums sold. Tyga would be top 10. Number 3, Ice Cube. This is fine. Top 3. Perfectly fine. So close to 10 million. Contributed to 11 platinum albums. 1 with NWA. Another with West Side Connection. Landed 12 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. With 1 certified platinum. Ice Cube only got 1 platinum song, but he got platinum albums though. His platinum song must be It Was a Good Day, right? Yeah. Number 3, this is a great ranking for Ice Cube. So the top 2 is gonna be Kendrick and who haven't they named? Kendrick. Let me see my list. Yeah, Snoop. Yeah, Snoop and Kendrick. Right, yeah. That's gonna be 2 and 1. And Snoop is gonna be number 2 and Kendrick number 1. Jadakiss wrote that Diddy verse. Yeah, and how many people wrote for Dr. Dre? Everybody was writing Dr. Dre lyrics. DLC, Hitman, Ice Cube at one point. The fact that Tyler is 1 away from Dr. Dre says it all, right? This is what I'm saying. This is like Vince Staples at number 23. Then you got Dr. Dre, then you got Tyler, the Creator. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. But yeah, media darlings. So what's about to happen right now is Snoop is number 2, and then Kendrick is number 1. Facts. Troy straight hating. I'm just saying. Number 2, Snoop, yeah. Most famous rapper of all time. That's true. One of hip hop's first true blockbuster superstars. Before my time. I wasn't there when Doggy Style came out, but I believe it. What's My Name and all that? He came out with the, G-Funk, heavy G-Funk. And Snoop Dogg also came out with the Parliament and, that kind of funk type of feel in his music too, which I think made a lot of his music anthemic. It made a lot of his verses very melodic and it made it very recitable. And then like the older people loved his music because he kind of had that little blast from the past, even though he was a little bit rough around the edges. Yeah, Drop It Like It's Hot, Gin and Juice, Who Am I, What's My Name? Yeah. Snoop Dogg number 2, this is fine. See, Snoop Dogg got to be 1 or 2 because Snoop Dogg is the most popular rapper of all time. If you talk about the most popular rappers ever, Snoop Dogg is number 1. Probably Eminem. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Drake. Just terms of popularity, international appeal. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Drake. Everybody knows them. Drake can out rap Easy at least. Neither of them write their rhymes. So to me, it's like I wouldn't even put him on his list. Number one, Kendrick. Which is fine. I think Kendrick is number one. West Coast rappers, top West Coast rappers of all time. Yeah. I would have said this in 2015. After To Pimp a Butterfly came out in 2015, my thing was, I don't know what y'all are waiting on to start calling Kendrick one of the greatest of all time. But To Pimp a Butterfly being fire, I was like, yo, you got to start ranking him up there. People want to, wait a little bit longer, but yeah, to me, it's easy. Kendrick is, number one. He's got the sales, the damn album and the GNX. He's had the album discography creatively. Now he's got more to hit records. And now he's battle tested. So yeah, Kendrick is obviously number one. I would have said this in 2015. Before To Pimp a Butterfly came out, my thing was, yo, if this To Pimp a Butterfly album that he's about to release is as good as the other ones, if it's on the same level, we got to start having the conversation. The GOAT conversation, the top 5 conversation. If it's great like the others, it's time to start having that convo. It came out, it was great. I was like, all right, there's no more fronting on him. I don't know what y'all are waiting on. Y'all still look at Kendrick as a new rapper. It's time to start ranking them top 5. This is me in 2015. So yeah, in 2025, 10 years later, yeah, he's number one. Creatively, and now he's got the sales, he's got the hits too. So yeah, same after To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick was him. Yeah, after To Pimp a Butterfly, it was like you can't deny him no more. Shout out Aaron in the chat, the baggy. Shout out Troy in chat. What up, Dot to go? Yeah. Dot is, make sure y'all like that super chat. Salute Aaron for supporting the channel. Yeah, Kendrick is easily number one. And the thing about Kendrick is he don't really have a lot of misses in his discography. Like his batting average is extremely high. Like Snoop has dropped some records that's a little, like he's dropped more. Obviously he's dropped way more, so he's going to have more room for error. But his batting average is a little off. In Ice Cube's dropped some albums that were like, Kendrick has not got to that point yet, but he's also not as deep in the game as these guys are. When did Ice Cube stop dropping albums? I know he still drops, with Mount Westmore and all that. But yeah, it's easy. Kendrick, number one. And it's going to be like that. The more Kendrick drops, the more he's going to separate himself. Right? People don't know New York rappers before 2010, it seems. Kendrick not outside enough to get the GOAT tag. Kendrick has the discography. He's dropped enough records. A lot of the guys in hip hop that we look at as the GOATs, like Biggie and Tupac, Biggie got like 2 albums. I bet when Complex does the top New York rappers list, Biggie's gonna be like top 4. They'll put Jay-Z before Biggie, because again, media darling. Nas is probably gonna be up there, and it's gonna be Biggie. And Biggie got 2 albums. Kendrick got a whole career's worth of music. Look at that. 6 studio albums. I like that they put Section 80 as a studio album because that's how it dropped. Oh, Aaron with another super chat. Salute, Aaron. Did you go to the GNX tour? I did not go to the GNX tour. I don't really like the stadium shows. I went to Kendrick's Damn tour in 2017 when Travis Scott opened up for him. I went to the show at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And I just don't like stadium shows. Like, I would rather just go see Currency perform at the Observatory with like 100 people. I just don't enjoy myself at stadium shows. So no, I didn't go. Yeah. How many times we got to have that debunked? His discography averages a drop every 2 years, not including the Black Panther album. Kendrick has been GOAT tier for a decade, but folks move the goalpost every time he exceeds something they say he can't. A shout out. This is a test name. I had a hard time read your username. With the baggy, Kendrick is my GOAT. Kendrick is the West Coast GOAT. And even if they did a California as a whole state, including NorCal, Kendrick would still be number one. It's not debatable, really, at this point. Snoop is the close number 2, and Ice Cube. So the only ones you can really argue against Kendrick is Snoop and Ice Cube, and those are guys with a lot of legacy. They got a lot of music they've put out, but I think Kendrick has exceeded them at this point. That's discography is literally debatable with anyone's. I'm here for a fact. Another baggy. Thank y'all for the super chats, for real. Yeah. So even if Kendrick, let's say he just start dropping trash thereafter, GNX is his last good album. Let's say Kendrick, he just start doing all these songs with Baby Keem. He keep dropping albums with Baby Keem. He drop a collab album with Hit a J3, and it's just garbage, right? He got a collab album with Lefty Gunplay, and it's just garbage. Even if Kendrick drops garbage for the next 5 years, he would still be number 1. It would take a lot for Kendrick to get moved off this spot. And Kendrick is also, he's not there's no one even in his rear view. There's no artist coming up who's creating, the next great, type of music. There's no one in his rear view. So Kendrick is it's like LeBron James's all-time points record. The longer he stays in, the longer the gap is going to be, and there's no one even on his tail to even catch it. I discovered super chats, so I got you. No, I appreciate it. Y'all don't have the super chat if you don't want to. I'm going to read the chats anyway, but I do appreciate y'all supporting the channel. Kendrick is efficient, but 5 albums in 12 years, I can divide. Yeah, I wish Kendrick dropped more too. I wish he dropped more too. If Drake didn't pop out the window, I don't even think GNX is a thing. I think the last Kendrick album we have is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. We going on year 3 with no Kendrick album if the Drake beef don't happen. Of all people, I'm with you. I want Kendrick to drop more, but he just doesn't. Who headlining a Super Bowl and winning a Grammy off a diss record, a media darling. Kendrick is a media darling, and I don't like Kendrick because he headlined Super Bowls and Grammys. Like, that's never what it was about with me and Kendrick's music. Like, you ask me why Kendrick is a great artist, I'm not going to start talking about the Super Bowl halftime show and the Pulitzer Prize, because at one point Kendrick didn't have that. I wonder if a lot of these people would have been Kendrick fans in 2011. They would have been Drake fans because Drake had all that. Drake was the one doing all the numbers and the big shows. Kendrick was just, I saw Kendrick in a venue. The venue was so small, they didn't even have air conditioning. But we all knew what it was. So I don't point to industry awards to explain why I think Kendrick is dope. I point to the albums. I point to the music. A collab album with Hit a J3 would send me into a coma. Yeah, I know. Kendrick gonna mess around. He gonna drop a collab album with Baby Keem with features with Hit a J3, and it's gonna be trash. But he's still gonna be number 1. Kendrick's music, in my opinion, is great. Kendrick wasn't a media darling before last year, though. He took that respect. He was just winning silently in the shadows before last year. I think it was a media darling because Kendrick was winning Grammys. You don't win Grammys without being beloved by the industry in some way. Kendrick been winning Grammys. He won the Pulitzer Prize. And I always say this, none of these are merit-based awards. You win these because of the connections you have. And Kendrick has that Dr. Dre connection. Dr. Dre is a media darling. He's an industry darling. Dr. Dre has that connection to Jimmy Iovine. So by proxy, Kendrick is directly tied to Jimmy Iovine, who's probably one of the biggest names in music ever. So yeah, this is a huge part of it. Kendrick was a media darling from the day Section 80. I wouldn't say since Section 80. Section 80 is when people started really respecting his pen. And then Good Kid, Mad City is when a lot of people really ever first heard of him. But Kendrick was, when Kendrick dropped Section 80, he was still an underground artist. He was doing small shows with no AC, with Jhené Aiko and Schoolboy Q, and just kind of doing colleges. I saw Kendrick when I was in college. It was Kendrick and Music Soul Child on the same ticket. So, and this was after Section 80. So yeah, he wasn't a media darling with Section 80. I would say, I can't pinpoint, but all that stuff is behind the scenes stuff. And I don't point to that I don't point to awards and sales and, the GNX tour sold out 4 nights in a row. I don't give a fuck. I wouldn't go to the GNX tour anyways because I just don't like stadium shows. So yeah, I don't point to that stuff to explain why Kendrick is great. Because all that stuff is just fabricated. It's not based on any merit at all. Every single media platform couldn't wait to shit on Kendrick prior to him popping out and showing. I don't know. I don't know about that. Grammys, Pulitzer, soundtrack to a blockbuster, crazy reviews in all music pubs. Again, all this is just industry stuff. Even with video games and movies, if I go on Rotten Tomato and look at a movie's reviews, we could do this now, right? I'm skeptical about the critic score. Why? Why am I skeptical about the critic score? Because the shit is like 9 times out of 10 paid for. People have connections to this director and who funded this, and the critic score is very few critics that can be trusted. That's why when people find someone who reviews music and talks about music, who they feel, even if they don't agree with them, they feel they're authentic, this is why they cling to them. Because it's just very rare. Niggas is getting paid off and scared to say, point out the obvious. The critic score, I am very skeptical of. I trust the user score more. Because there's no incentive. There's less incentive to just lie, right? Or even Metacritic. Let's look up a video game. I chose Expedition 33 because that's what I'm playing right now. I trust the user score more than the critic, especially in gaming. See, the hip hop community has not reached this level of evolution. But the critic scores in the gaming community, they don't trust those at all. Because we know it's paid for. We've seen the critics flop way too much. And we know when you're just lying about something. The user score matters way more. This is why I don't really care about, Kendrick has great reviews and he has the Grammy and Pulitzers. It's all industry stuff. It meant nothing to me when Kendrick didn't have it. And it means nothing still now to this day. It means nothing to me. Grammy started pumping up Drop Dot after that Macklemore blunder. Yeah, they sure did. That's actually a Snapple fact. It's a Snapple fact. The Grammys did start to pump him up after we went crazy for him losing to Macklemore. That's when he started to get all his stuff. I saw a write-up for Section 80 in a New York magazine. They were saying he was next. Non-hip-hop publications love him. Well, because he was next. Kendrick was the biggest rapper in the underground when Section 80 came out. But he hadn't reached that stage of, he was loved because his music was good. Section 80 was that turning point though. But it's not like after he dropped Good Kid, Mad City. It's just two different levels of, adoration, I would say. Kendrick drops when he truly has something to say. That's why his music has so much, I don't know. I don't agree with that narrative either. Kendrick only drops when he has something to say. I think like many other artists, Kendrick has a bunch of music in a backlog and they're just waiting on the best business opportunity to release it. I don't think I just don't buy that so much. Damn was a very mainstream and critical success. That was 8 years ago. And Kendrick was getting #1 album of the year since Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. The industry always loved him. Surprised they chose this side over Drake though. I am surprised they chose Kendrick over Drake though. Because Drake was also an industry darling. I don't know what Drake did to somebody behind the scenes. He does have like a very public thing with Lucian Grange going on, which obviously is going to affect him. And then he kind of went off the deep end by suing UMG. So something happened with Drake and his industry connects to where he's just like, no, I'm not messing with y'all no more. Yeah, that's one thing I never saw coming. I never saw Kendrick becoming the industry darling over Drake. I never saw that coming because Kendrick was the underground guy, making very niche music, that just happened to, catch popularity. How do you feel about Ace Trumpets? I heard some of it. I try not to listen to the singles until the whole album comes out. That way it's all fresh to me. I like the early Last Poets albums. Still one of my all-time favorites, but they were never highly rated. Yeah, I got a Last Poets vinyl hanging right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. My camera's not turned enough, but it's the Last Poets at the Lil Wayne Get Something. Last Poets, Adele. Adele's last album. But yeah, the Last Poets. Great group. I got 2 Last Poets vinyls. Great group. Shout out to the Watts Prophets too. Very similar group. I hate this era of people listening to artists with their eyes. We never cared about charts, etc. That was always just a plus. Yeah. And to me, it's just like, especially with the Kendrick fans, because we didn't have all this stuff. We didn't have like the Grammys. Like this, the argument the new Kendrick fans make is the argument the Drake fans used to make against Kendrick. Like in 2013, when we used to have the same Kendrick versus Drake debates. Kendrick versus J. Cole versus Drake. It was that debates we would have. The separating factor the Drake fans would always use is sales and numbers and shows. And meanwhile, we're talking about music, but Kendrick music is, but he talking about something. The Kendrick fans have turned into Drake fans. To me, it's very irritating. it's just very irritating, but they liable to bury him. They nominated 6 to carry him. I like the Big 6 domino. Y'all know how I feel about that bar. I like Ace Trumpet. I need to listen to truly catch all the bars. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until the whole album comes out. It come out this week though, right? The Clips album. Malice be washing Pusha T, man. I say that. If you listen to those old Clips albums, Pusha T was very obviously the inferior MC. Pusha T kind of took Malice's style once Malice stopped rapping, and that's the Pusha T we hear today. Malice is what, I don't know. Maybe not today. Maybe Pusha T has caught up to him. But if you go listen to like Hell Hath No Fury, Malice is the star of that group lyrically. Kendrick is consistent and doesn't compromise his artistic vision. He is versatile with his delivery and sound, yeah. The reason why Kendrick fans discuss numbers now is because Drake fans discredit Kendrick's numbers. Yeah, but it's like, what do we turn into? Like, I feel like a lot of people who do this weren't even around for the initial Kendrick and Drake debates. Drake was always more popular than Kendrick. Drake was already a superstar when Kendrick was just kind of... In 2009, Drake was already a superstar. 2010, he was a megastar. His first album came out. Kendrick was barely getting on in 2010. So, like, the entire time until now, Drake, I guess until Damn with all the Grammys, Drake has outpaced Kendrick numbers-wise. And that's always been a Drake fan argument. So now we are using Drake fan arguments for Kendrick. Some people don't find issue with that. I find it hypocritical, and it's just not something I'm going to do. I don't care how much records Kendrick Lamar sells. I don't care how many shows he sells out. It's completely irrelevant to me. Malice was spitting. The Lady Gaga Gucci bar was tough. Let me guess. Malice said something about cocaine, but he called the cocaine Lady Gaga. I'm selling Lady Gaga. I'm wearing Gucci, selling Lady Gaga. I don't know. Thank you. We've been locked in with Don for 15 years. These newbies and chat. Just happy to be here. I wouldn't even say it's my chat that be doing. If you were one of these Kendrick like numbers glazers that I'm talking about, there's no way you're watching my channel because I push back heavily against that. You would have unsubscribed a long time ago. But yeah, those people who do that, yeah, I don't know what they doing, man. I think the discussion of numbers is because of the expanded fan base. Yeah. The Kendrick got one of the worst fan bases right now, because of all the newbies. You know what I mean? It's people who used to be Drake fans that are now Kendrick fans just because he won. You think this is embarrassing. So anyway, there we go. Complex, best 50 LA rappers of all time. We need the New York City list. I think the biggest aberration here is Vince Staples at number 23. It's way too high. But again, Vince Staples is associated with Tyler. Tyler's a media darling. So all of Tyler's people is going to be ranked super highly. Tyler at number 5 is the next biggest aberration. It's too high. And then Blueface being on this list at all. These are the 3 worst offenses. Blueface should not be on this list. You know what I mean? But I think they had, in general, I think Complex, they picked good people. Everyone on this list except for Blueface deserves to be here. And I think they even had some really good rankings, like Ice-T at 7, YG at 15. I do think there's some recency bias in here. and guys like Blue are too low, and a lot of underground legends that are here are kind of too low, while the recent guys like Vince Staples at 23. But overall, they did pick a good pool of rappers. I'm happy to see Blue on here. I'm happy to see AC Alone, Crooked Eye. So yeah, I mean, no one's really going to agree with how you rank things, but I do think they had a good selection of people, except for Blueface. Yeah, Blue is on the list. Yeah, they had Blue, they had Blueface and then Blue. So I mean, the way they ranked him is kind of crazy, but he was on here. So anyway, that's all we got for today. Make sure y'all go watch the new videos that we put on the channel. If you've already watched it, go back, like the video, watch it again. This helps us in the algorithm. And yeah, hit the like button and enjoy your night. What am I going to do tonight? I think I'm going to play some more Expedition 33. I'm right at the Monolith. I'm about to fight the Paintress. So we're going to go ahead and finish that game. I got a video idea I'm thinking of doing maybe tomorrow or sometime this weekend. We'll see, though. It's going to be a short one, though. Probably like a 5-minute video, but we'll see. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.